Hi PowerPages community, this is Tino. Today I'd like to give you a short summary regarding all new features in PowerPages in the year 2023. This summary is part of a series, and this time it is tailored around to low-code creators and mentions all new features that might be interesting for those low-code creators. Make sure to check out the other videos I have made, for example the one for no-code makers. So, without further ado, let's get started. First feature on the list is that PowerPages Data Workspace is now solution aware. PowerPages Data Workspace now allows all tables, columns, forms, and views, created or edited in the Data Workspace, to be added to an unmanaged solution. You might be familiar with the term Dataverse schema, and this feature exactly picks up on that. Newly created tables and columns will get the prefix of the selected solution's publisher. So ultimately, this will enable makers to contextually follow application lifecycle management, ALM, best practices while working with Dataverse tables, columns, forms, and views within the PowerPages Data Workspace. Next feature is the introduction of PowerPages ALM using solutions alongside of the newly announced enhanced data model. PowerPages ALM using solution allows makers to migrate site configuration between environments and provides consistent experiences with other Power Platform applications. The capability provides simplified and enhanced visual experience through a dedicated solutions area for managing PowerPages components. The key enabler and prerequisite to make this work is to utilize the newly introduced enhanced data model for PowerPages. The migration of site configuration between environments for the well-known standard data model is currently not supported. Next feature is the powerful addition of a code component UI in the Design Studio. Code components properties used in form fields and web pages can now be edited and configured directly from the Design Studio. Once a code component has been enabled on a form field or added to a web page in the Pages workspace, you can contextually edit the corresponding properties for this component without leaving the workspace. In addition, you can preview the code components directly in the canvas within the Pages workspace. Here is a big one, the introduction of PowerPages developer websites. PowerPages developer websites allow both low-code makers and pro developers to develop, test, and upskill themselves on PowerPages capabilities without the hassle of signing up for time-bound trials. PowerPages developer websites are a great way to start your PowerPages journey as a developer or low-code maker. All the PowerPages features are available on developer websites. There are no additional steps required to configure a developer website. The next feature I'd like to highlight is the Dataverse virtual table integration. Virtual tables, also known as virtual entities, enable the integration of data residing in external systems by seamlessly representing that data as tables in Microsoft Dataverse, without replication of data and often without custom coding. Each virtual table type is associated with a virtual table data provider and, optionally, some configuration information from an associated virtual table data source. An OData version 4 data provider is shipped with Dataverse and is installed by default. This provider supports create, read, update, and delete operations. Here is another big one, the integration of Power Automate Cloud Flows. Power Automate Cloud Flows can now be invoked from PowerPages. You can trigger the flow based on certain events or user actions, such as clicking a button or submitting a form or calling an external API for automating data collection and processing, streamlining approvals and workflows, or even improving customer service. When you add a flow to the Power Pages site, a unique URL is generated that will allow you to call a flow from the site. To secure your flows, you can even apply a web role. The next feature enables low-code editing of web templates directly from the Design Studio. This new feature streamlines the fusion work of low-code and pro-code makers. Pro-code developers define parameters in the web template that are object to be changed by low-code makers. Low-code makers utilize those properties to adapt content in a defined structure directly from the Design Studio. This introduces a set of robust components which A. pull data from Dataverse and B. render those as complex layouts that can be maintained in a single place while being reused across the site. Let's have a look at another exciting new feature, pipelines in Power Pages. Pipelines in Power Pages is a new feature that allows makers to create and manage a state-of-the-art application lifecycle management routine for their Power Pages websites. Pipelines work by using the Power Platform command line interface to perform various actions such as exporting, importing, validating, and publishing solutions. This is now all baked into an intuitive experience and made easier than ever before. Next feature in this quick recap, co-presence in the Design Studio. Co-presence is a new feature that allows makers to discover other makers working on the same Power Pages website. Co-presence is designed to help makers collaborate more effectively and share knowledge and best practices. Co-presence is available in the Power Pages workspace and can be accessed by clicking the Discover Makers button. Last but not least, you can now use SharePoint list and SQL table to build Power Pages sites. This feature allows makers to easily connect to external data sources and use them to populate their websites. Makers can create virtual tables to connect to existing data outside of Dataverse, allowing Power Pages and Power Platform to treat it like local data. Upon creating the virtual table, it will act like a standard Dataverse table. Makers can use it to design experiences in Design Studio like any other Dataverse table. What makes this feature so cool is that there is a dedicated wizard that supports low-code makers in the process. And that one marks the last new feature for low-code creators in Power Pages in the year 2023. I really hope you enjoyed my quick summary and eventually found interest in some of the mentioned new features. Be my guest to check out the links to the official feature announcements in the show notes below. Consider to follow me for upcoming feature summaries in a short while and check out my previous recap for no-code makers. Take care and have a good start into a successful year 2024. Bye.